All right, guys, we're going to be going over, I don't know why I try to make this suspenseful because you can read it in the title. We're going to be going over types of interviews. As an HR professional, you will be interviewing people, and as somebody that's clearly looking to transfer into the field, you're going to be getting interviewed. So super relevant, definitely good for you to know. I want to call out this, I think it's funny, this APHR study book gives me the exam tip that various types of interviews are more than likely going to be a question on the APHR exam. Great tip. So yeah, I guess you need to listen up, right? No, I don't know why this is stupid, but okay. So first type of interviewing technique that we have is our pre-screening. This is done usually when there's a high volume of applicants and you want to rule out people because HR is usually the gatekeeper, and they want to go through. You just want to get through it. Like if you have one job that has 5,000 people that have applied, that'd be insane. You want to be able to get through all the bad resumes. So it's just usually when you ask a series of minimal questions that rule out people that don't have the credentials. Then you have a structured interview, and that is an interviewer asks every applicant the same questions along with follow-up probes that may be different depending on the initial response. So structured interviews make it possible to gather similar information from all candidates. I can speak. Then you get our pattern interviews. Did I just say I could speak? I swear I can. Let's restart. Our patterned interview. In the pattern interview, sometimes called the targeted interview, an interviewer also asks each applicant questions that are from the same knowledge, skill, or ability, KSA, you should know that, area. However, the questions are not necessarily the same. They differ depending on the candidate's background. For example, questions asked of recent college graduates may differ than those from a candidate with a year's worth of experience. Why am I struggling on that? I think that's pretty normal. You've probably experienced that at some point already. Then we have our directive, and this is a type of interview where an interviewer poses specific questions to the candidate, maintaining tight control. It's highly structured interview. Every candidate is asked the same questions. When is that applicable? I've never seen it, but whatever. Non-directive. In this type of interview, the interviewer asks open-ended questions and provides only general direction. The interviewer also allows the candidate to guide the process. A response to this one question dictates what the next question will be. I feel like that makes sense, right? You need a combination of the directive, Then we have our behavioral interviews. In a behavioral interview, an interviewer focuses on how the applicant previously handled the actual situations, not hypothetical. The interviewer probes specific situations looking for past behaviors and how the applicant handled those experiences. These questions probe the knowledge, skills, and abilities and other personal characteristics identified as essential to success on the job. They look for three things when they're asking these questions: a description of an actual situation or task, the action taken, and the results of the action or the results of the outcome. The reason why this is really popular is because it's believed that past performance is the best predictor of future performance. So that's why these are very common. Then you get your stress interviews. In these types of interviews, an interviewer creates an aggressive posture. In other words, deliberately creating some type of stress to see how the candidate reacts to stressful situations. So that happens. Military, they're going to be doing things like that. Then you get situational. In a situational interview, the interviewer elicits stories and examples that illustrate the applicant's skills and qualifications for the job. Situational interviewing is similar to behavioral interviewing. The only difference is that a behavioral interview, the interviewer is probing for actual past experiences, whereas in a situational interview, the interview develops hypothetical situations and asks the applicant how or she would handle them. Then we have our group panel interviews, and that's when there's more than one person. That's when you're interviewed in a group or like a panel. A fishbowl interview, which is part of the group's panel one, it brings multiple candidates together to work with each other in an actual group activity. That's the other part of the group panel. You're not necessarily being interviewed by many people. You could also be interviewed with a bunch of people. And then a team interview typically involves a group of interviewers with a perspective of the actual interactions associated with the job. So that's just like, but I mean, come on, you know. And then finally, in a panel interview, questions are distributed among a group of interviewers, typically to those most qualified to the area. So then those are just our types of interviews. Just quickly, while some interviewing skills and techniques to note, and I'll try and write these in the description, plan ahead, create a rapport, listen, watch your nonverbal behavior, be inquisitive, and paint a realistic picture. Also, take notes and be courteous. Thanks for watching. Leave a note, like, comment, thanks, subscribe. Bye.